Controlled Chaos with your hosts, Liz and Allie.
I'm Liz, the writer.
And I'm Allie, the publicist.
We are your quintessential 40-something besties who dive headfirst into all things pop culture.
Think motherhood, relationships, hot stories taking over your newsfeed, and of course, the latest gripping true crime mysteries.
This is Controlled Chaos, your much-needed weekly pop culture juice.
Drink up. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of
Controlled Chaos.
So what's on the docket today, Liz?
Well, I think we're going to have to do a little ditty about Diddy. I like that Diddy also means song. I think we're going to have to dive into Diddy. I saw a funny meme today. Did he do it or did he don't? I mean, there's so many things going on already. But
not funny to make a joke out of this, but because
it's not. But Diddy just has so many funny things. I gotta be honest, guys. I'm blown away by all this, and there's so much that we don't know yet. And there's just as we know, the first accusation was a long time ago, and now things are starting to kind of how these cases go. But his house was just raided this week, and he took off to the Caribbean. So there's just things are starting to go down.
And I think, the real reason that they swooped in on both of his homes in LA and Miami is because of Lil Rod, his ex-music producer who just produced his last album, came out with the most insane allegations. I mean, it's being covered everywhere. And we definitely don't want to take this episode to go through all the allegations because you can find those on many, websites and
Google it.
You can Google it. We're also not from the court of law here. So we're not trying to
we're not going to go too deep in all the funny, although some of the conspiracy theories have been pretty hilarious, but they're just crazy. But it's I don't know if you guys have seen, it's just people it's starting to just really spiral. And that's kind of what we want to talk about. We want to talk about today, just where it is right now, what might happen, what's needed, things like that.
So current state is that, like Liz said, Diddy took his private jet out of Opa-locka, I think, actually, out of which is a little bit north of Miami, to the Caribbean. He probably has some island or some, mansion there that he has done some of his alleged sex trafficking in. And in fact, his purported drug mule, who was a former basketball player, was arrested at the airport about to board his jet. Yeah.
I just read that. And we should say, in case you guys don't know, that's the charge, right? Sex trafficking. That's what he's being accused of. Or
sexual assault, sex trafficking. So the things that I think they're trying to get him on right in the beginning here is illegal firearms, drugs, which is why they arrested this guy, because apparently he was caught with cocaine and edibles, whatever, weed edibles. It's not
whatever.
Yeah, that's the least of our concerns here.
I'm on edible now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
I was wondering what was going on. And then also this guy was apparently, buying illegal firearms from, paying off a lot of these purported sexual workers with cash, all these different things. So I think they're trying to get him on some of these illegal acts. It's harder to prove in a criminal suit, sexual assault, because it's he said, she said, right? But you can prove via video and pictures. So that leads us to Lil Rod, who came out just in the past couple of weeks with insane amounts of allegations. And apparently within all the court documents, he's been giving tons of video and photo. So that's what these cases need right now in order to really move forward. Otherwise, it's just, it has to be filed under different, types of statutes or whatever. But it's all basically he did this to me, he did that to me, but there's no real proof, right? You need some.
Yes. And it's going to be, you and I have talked about this before with the Adelsons. It's going to be interesting because the way the FBI, the way these things go is you really need to build a case. Like you said, Fold, for Allie Fold, that you have these little charges or things they can kind of start to get now. But what they're really trying to do is build a case, obviously. And when you're doing that, this is going to be a long time. This is going to be a long, long process before. So it's just going to be very, very interesting to see how they're going to do that, or people are going to start giving other people up.
So this isn't even just about the people either. This is also about the organizations involved, because he's got huge record labels behind him, University Music Group. He's got, Bad Boy Records, of course, which he's one of the founders, or is the founder, I'm not sure. So they're calling it a RICO enterprise, which means a business that's been infiltrated by organized crime. So this is Jeffrey Epstein level where, all these guys have handlers. That's always the case. In this case, they're naming the handler in this specific world with Diddy. His handler is his chief of staff. Her name is Christina Coram, and Lil Rod in his most recent court filings is like comparing her to the Ghislaine Maxwell of Jeffrey Epstein. So this has been his chief of staff for years. She's been responsible for allegedly flying all these like, young underage women, the sex trafficking, drug muling, all that stuff. So she's sort of at the helm of this, but this is on such a bigger level. And even in some of the court filings, there's other unnamed people there's one specifically that was named in the Little Rod case alongside Diddy and his partner at Bad Boy, that they won't even say his name because I think they actually want to get a little farther in the case before releasing that, because it's like I'm almost thinking like it could be Jay-Z or something. I'm not kidding. I'm a little scared here.
No, I don't want it to be, but I don't. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is just. I mean, it's very, very Epstein-esque. All of this, like how we found out. Like, I mean, it's very on that page. Like, who are we going to find out was involved? I definitely think if it's not Jay-Z, which you guys, I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. I've been my whole life. I mean, just like of his rapping, I love old Jay-Z. But I mean, I don't doubt. Reasonable doubt, pun intended. I don't know. Like, I mean, it could be. It could be, and I do think this case is going to be like that. I do think we're going to find out, like, whoa, he's involved. That's going to be said a lot.
Well, there's even like mention of like, back in that 1999 club shooting with J-Lo and Diddy, that J-Lo was the one who was carrying the firearm. Now, nobody got killed at that club shooting.
I remember that. Gosh, I forgot. Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen to her, but this also like is a big like reputation killer, right? I mean,
yeah, you think? I mean, it's kind of it's a little bit of a life ruiner.
It is. Well, I'll give you an example. So in Lil Rod's filings as well, Cuba Gooding Jr. was named as one of the alleged.
I saw that. He's
right?
had some stuff. He was charged of assault at one point, right? Yeah.
That's the point, right? Is he was Academy Award. He won an Academy Award, right?
For Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. I mean, this guy was at the top of his game. Clearly he's got some issues. And so a few years back, maybe 5-10 years ago, got arrested and ended up, figuring out probation.
He's had a lot of,
but for assault, yes. And so
violence.
Yeah. So when you see somebody named like this in a file, and you're like, okay, let me question, is this real or fake? Then you see a Cuba Gooding Jr. name, and you're like, well, I mean, this guy has already been arrested for this, like this. And they released pictures of Cuba Gooding Jr. with his arm around him on a boat, like. This guy's not lying that they were all together. What would be the point of Lil Rod coming out, not only defaming his own career and character, because apparently he only got paid like $29,000 over 13 months and, did all this work, never got paid. And Diddy owns all the rights to the music of this new album that was just released. Why would he come out and say not only these things, but also the fact that he was forced to perform like oral sex and all these different things, gay, things that related to other men, other women? Why do that if it's not true? If you're going to tell me it's for a payday, that's just like some of the things people are saying are like, I don't think you people understand free will. If someone is doing something that's wrong too, but you allow it, I don't feel bad for you. If we lived in a third world country in the Middle East or something, then I would feel bad for you. Or another person said, only a few women out of thousands of women he's encountered with have come out. That doesn't look that bad to me. Oh, I'm sorry. So it's okay to allegedly rape a few women, but because you didn't rape 1,000 women?
It's just a few. So let's just.
Right. This goes back to like people not understanding that when you're in a situation with someone as powerful, I don't care if you tell me that Diddy is not a powerful man. He is an extremely powerful.
Really? Who said he wasn't powerful?
Well, some people out there just say like, yeah, power, whatever, who cares? Like if someone does something to me, I go out and I say it. Okay, listen, this guy promised Grammys, money, careers to explode. It's like what happened with Harvey Weinstein, right?
You took the words out of my mouth. This is Harvey.
Like he used his power and his influence to threaten people's careers, not only their careers. Lil Rod said his family, his mom, put the blame on him. So imagine being this person who, yes, you're getting your foot in the door in the record industry. Yes, you're getting your name out there. You're working with big names. But if you have someone sitting there on the top who's saying like, you're done for, if you even talk, if you say one thing, if you go against me, you're done. I will tell, you've seen what I've done in the past. You're done. So what do you do?
It brings me to like, all this has such a common tie. It's power. Like, are these people, and I'm not saying these people, I mean, you're sick to do any of this stuff. It's disgusting. I mean, disgusting is even a word.
It is,
I
yeah.
feel like it's like, are all these people just sexual deviants? Or are they just like obsessed with power? I mean, obviously they're disgusting, like sex, but like they're just the power. It's a control and power over people. That's what sex trafficking. But that's like what sex trafficking it is. You're controlling people.
Right.
It's like you're dealing people. It's just like it's the sickest form of like control and manipulation that you have to wield over people. It's very, 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 very dark and very strange. Like Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, all these people that want to control you in these by sex acts. It's so
Yeah,
dark.
there might be elements of like sex and feeling like, sexual desires, but at the end of the
Oh,
day,
yeah.
everyone will tell you it's power. Yeah.
I mean,
Any
I agree that
psychological,
that's there for sure, but it
yeah.
really is about power. It's about power.
Or it's like these erotic like fantasies. I guess, Diddy can't publicly come out and just be like, I'm a gay man.
I
So
know.
this,
I feel like you hear about that so much, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's crazy to me. These people have nothing but money and anything they could ever want, and like, can't you just like, and I don't know,
I know.
like be gay or be this, and like if you have, I mean, obviously nothing that involves like any like. Okay, I'm just gonna deviate for a second. Like Army Hammer. Okay, remember how he got a lot of flack because he's like, okay, but here's my take. Here's my take on that. Okay, and this is completely different than this. If you have specific sexual stuff that you're into, and it's in your relationship and it's agreed upon, like whatever. Let's say you and your partner or spouse like to do some cannibalism, whatever your weird stuff. You go nuts if that's what you guys are agreed on in your couple. I am not here to judge what people do in that way. So I actually thought Army Hammer got a little bit of got some bad. He didn't rape anybody. It was all mutual.
Yeah.
I thought he got some, but this like controlling people in power because of like your weird, like, I mean, you obviously have some weird like sexual impulses. I mean, there's obviously some weird stuff you get off on. But I'm just saying, why can't you just be this like you have money, you have celebrity, and have your weird sexual fantasies and just act them out in like a not grow like, but not with kids, but I don't know, like why can't you just like the John Travolta consenting adult, like be gay and have your consenting adult sex, be this and like do your bondage, but like why does it have to be this like rapey, trafficking? Why do they have to go to this crazy level? And that's where I think it's because it's power. It's a sick need for power and control over people. It's just so gross.
You have to think about like who these people were growing up, where they grew up, what they were exposed to. I mean, we all know from watching.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Right, a lot of
that's
these,
what it's all about.
And I do think, there's that famous quote that like money does change people, right? Like when you start having such absurd amounts of money, like money no matter matters. Like it doesn't matter anymore.
Especially because a lot of these people didn't have that at all. So they went from like I mean, Jay-Z was in the projects, and we're talking like people who went from absolutely nothing to stupid rich, which I totally agree with your point. Like that must just be so mind power, like a mind fuck for
you have
themselves.
all the power in the world, and so why wouldn't you take that power
after having nothing,
right?
And having a really, really kind of like kicked on upper. Yeah, I know.
And there seems to be no like sort of filter or awareness that like having power over like the music you put out and like freedom of speech is different from like having power over someone sexually. And now in their minds, I think they also convince themselves like these people are coming in free will. Like they are taking the drinks that we give them, even though they're drugging them.
No, but I think you just nailed it. I think that people in general, but especially this case, your ability to convince yourself what you're doing is like not, I think you're totally right, which is very sociopathic, but it's a way to kind of just convince yourself to be like, well, they're doing this of their free will. I'm not making, it's crazy.
It's the very root of power. You can force people.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's what Trump does. He manipulates through money.
But you tell yourself you're not. You're like, you might put yourself as some sort of like vigilante in a sense. I mean, it's what they're able to do in their brain is
saving
like
these people, or you're helping them.
Yes, you're helping them in some way.
You're in your own warped world of
disgusting.
Like I've
made
where their brain level, and now I can help these people, and they're gonna have to do what I say. Because look what I endured growing up. I got assaulted. I got almost killed. I mean,
exactly. Those mechanisms they need to like live every day is. I mean, I think psychology is so interesting, but like those deep psychological things that they have to tell themselves for this kind of. I mean,
but there's no excuse.
Awful.
I mean, look at someone like
no,
he's literally been shot how many times, and he grew up in the worst of the worst conditions. And this man is making movies. He's he's doing like legitimate things in the industry. Am I saying he's a perfect person? No, but
no,
he's not about to be R. Kelly's roommate. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Diddy's about to be diddying over to R. Kelly. Maybe they'll diddy each other's diddles. Maybe
We're
they'll
good. There's so much diddling going
shove it in
on.
each other's mouths. And
I mean, look, no, there's be a lot of diddling,
others
nonstop
probably
diddling
like
going on.
that. Yeah.
That's,
So-
but like, you know what? On every level, where I'm just gonna quote my own therapist here. Maybe it's not there. Maybe you don't, the things that happen to you to create these problems aren't your fault, but they're sure as hell your responsibility. Okay. Like to fix. I mean, like, it's just to let this get like off track like this. There is no excuse. There is no like, oh, you had this bad childhood. Figure it out and fix it then, because you're ruining lives all over the place, and it's disgusting.
And Diddy will go down. I think all of his statements have been even more disgusting than the ones before, just saying these are absolutely false allegations.
Oh
and
yeah, he's
taken down, and how dare they defame my
denying
character.
so far. He's denying so
Of course
far.
he
We'll see
is.
how.
It's like R.
I mean,
Kelly
yeah,
denied all the way till the day. And look at R. Kelly sitting in a fucking jail cell now, and he's still denying it.
R.
He's-
Kelly.
I'm telling you, he's going to be R. Kelly's roommate. So I think the other interesting things about this is there's a lot of stuff that happened in the past with Diddy, right? Like, let's talk about Kim Porter for a moment, who
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they were ever married, but they have 3 kids together.
No, they were married. I think
Were
she's been
married?
coming out saying some stuff. I think so, but I don't know for sure. But I thought so.
So Kim Porter, we know, died of pneumonia. What was that? 15 years ago? I don't remember what
Yeah,
that
yeah.
It doesn't even matter. She died. No one really ever understood why. Kimora Lee Simmons was one of her best friends and is still trying to get this case reopened because there seemed to be some shady shit going down there. And that's what a lot of like these shows, podcasts.
I don't really doubt it now. I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Me either.
I mean,
So, but the weird thing is, and she is one of a few that had a tell-all book that was literally about to hit and got completely taken off. Nobody heard them anymore. They disappeared. That wasn't English, what I just said. The books disappeared. Nobody saw them. There was apparently some alleged, really serious stuff written. I have something here that I'll read to you guys that was said about the book. So Sean has put the clamps on Kim Porter's book from making it to the shelves. He put the pressure on all parties that were involved in the process of putting this book together. His lawyers have stepped up to the plate and hit them with that paperwork. He's asking for any information, footage, or documents that contain private information about him or Kim to be seized, and they have 3 business days to surrender it. Paperwork was served to at least 2 of the individuals that were involved. And then another quote says, there's information on how she used a strap-on to please Diddy and how she would hysterically cry alone after doing so, how she protected Albie from running into Diddy and would call him to warn him not to show up to certain places to avoid trouble, how the East Coast and West Coast faked having beef to eliminate Biggie and Pac, to obtain their masters and full-on catalog because both Pac and Big were planning to come together and challenge Bad Boy and Death Row to come to rights.
what? This is like,
conspiracies, right? But it could be true. And we do know that allegedly, again, the night that Biggie won at the BET Awards, he was supposed to fly to London. And Diddy said, stay here, dude. I want you to go to the nightclubs with me tonight. Come promote, whatever. So Biggie stays. They go in the car, and that's when he gets shot and killed.
I'm just sorry. The East Coast West Coast rivalry fueled
Was it fake?
my hip hop allegiance in the 90s. Okay, so I mean, this not being true just takes me to another place. I mean, I don't know. We still don't even know who killed Tupac. I mean, we still.
Isn't that weird that we still don't really know? And we don't. Do we know who killed Biggie? We do, right?
I think. I don't know.
But the weird thing is murder of Notorious B.I.G. Let's say yes, Christopher. Oh no, that was his name, Christopher Wallace.
That's his name, Christopher
Yeah,
Wallace.
who killed him?
I don't even know that. We know nothing. So this whole thing's been a go. People used to think Tupac came back as Machiavelli. He never really died.
Oh my God!
Yes. Talk about conspiracy.
And they had like Tupac coming in holograms, or he'd be like seen in.
Oh yeah, he's still here. I'm like, it's like he was like the Elvis of our time.
So there is like information that basically this is what I read, and again, this is all conspiracy, but. When Tupac was killed, Diddy was opposed to P. Diddy, Sean Combs. What the fuck his name is? By the way, why does he change his name all the time? Because he never wants
all the time. Remember,
there's a reason for that.
And he only wanted to be Puff Daddy. Then he only wanted to be Diddy. And it's just blah.
Elusive. You can't keep track of who this guy is. So apparently, when he was behind Tupac, let's just say that's the case, right? So basically, Tupac's record label was like, "You got to give up one of your guys, or you're all going down." And so he gave up Biggie. That's what they're saying.
Again, powers.
And it's all about masters and owning music and money. It's all about money.
It is all about that.
There's just been so many more allegations. When Cassie came out with her allegations last year, which they settled very quickly, which is that not a sign of guilt? I don't know what is.
Every time. I'm sorry. Anytime you settle that quick, you did it.
They
did
say
it.
it's for their reputation, but your reputation's donezo.
Ah, you did it. Yeah.
Done. Nobody likes you anymore unless like all these women miraculously come out and say they lied and they love you. Like there's no way this is going, and Lil Rod and others. By the way, I think so many people, more people aren't coming out. I do think there's a level of like embarrassment that people have, especially on the male side, the homosexual activities, especially if they were forced into it. I have to commend Lil Rod, the Rodney Jones, who was the record producer that came out, I think this was just a few weeks ago, because his allegations are so detailed, but it's embarrassing stuff. And like,
well, that's another reason these people have such a hold on them, because the people who are these victims are full of shame. They're just like, I don't want this out. I don't want people to know I did this. So like, that's another reason they're not forthcoming.
So I think when they were raiding both these homes, what they're really trying to find is like the illegal evidence. So there's, the drugs, the firearms, because apparently he has like tons of illegal firearms. But I think the other piece is video. And apparently he like loved filming all this shit.
Oh, I believe it, which is just so
It's mentioned
dumb.
in like court documents, like that he had like a fetish for filming and has like thousands. Also, there's an alleged, it was alleged by Lil Rod that he has hidden cameras in all of the bedrooms or some of the bedrooms.
Oh, I believe that.
By the way, it's also illegal, privacy violation.
Yeah.
So all these different things they can get him on while they continue to dig deeper and go with the rape allegations and the sexual assault. Like,
I mean,
trafficking is illegal.
I hope he goes down. I mean, I do.
No.
This is just like.
And the other thing too is like, you saw like Prince Harry got named. And by the way, let's clear this up. Like the only reason Prince Harry was named was purely for the reason of like saying that Diddy would use like these high powered names, like celebrities, for these younger, artists who want to make it in this world, as like, oh, I'll give you access to these people. So
yeah, he's just pulling in. I have a connect with
Right.
him. I have a connect. It's just people.
Like
Yeah.
Bill Clinton with Epstein. Like Bill Clinton never actually did anything as far as we're aware of, but
No, but there's yeah, I do think there's so much that with these people. Okay, this here he appeals to this group, so I'll use him for this. It's just all
right.
that.
So imagine you're like a young, record producer or just a young woman or something that's looking to get into the space, and you're told, "Oh, come to my party. Prince Harry's going to be there. He's going to be there."
You're going to use that. You're going to use the name that's going to lure them in.
Get pictures.
Although you know what, that name would not lure me in. Am I the only one who gives no shits about the royal family?
Oh, you're not trying. No, I know, but we're also not trying to get in the industry. I can imagine.
I know, but I feel like Prince Harry works for most people. I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't care about that stuff.
Really?
But anyway.
No, I know that's another, the royal family stuff and the obsession and is really bizarre.
It's like, I don't care.
Because, it's fascinating because it still exists in 2024 that there's kings and queens. That's what I think at least. But I was going to say that imagine going to this party and you see Prince Harry, you get to hang out with him, have a drink with him. And then all of a sudden you're slipped a drink, you're lured off into one of the 100 bedrooms. Let's say there's 20 bedrooms, right? One of them could be a hidden bedroom that none of these celebrities like Prince Harry even saw or had access to. They had no idea what was going on. And all of a sudden it's 2 a.m. and you're in this room and Lil Rod says he was drugged. He woke up walking around. He woke up in bed with sex workers with Diddy. Why would he lie about this shit? Why?
I don't know, but you're giving me the creepies.
It's really fucking creepy. I mean, it's Epstein shit. It's Weinstein shit. It's disgusting. It's Cosby shit.
I was about to say Cosby. I mean, oh, that's everyone.
Really, really sad. I know. It's really awful. So
well, we'll stay on top of this. I know this was a little all over the place. That's because this case is all over the place right now.
Yes.
It's really just sort of starting out, but this is one we're going to stay on because I mean, this is going to be a big thing. It's going to really unravel and we have to stay on it. So just expect more episodes or we'll update you on it in our own unique way.
Yes, I'm going to just leave us with this last, just verbatim. So Jones, this is Lil Rod, claims that he recorded hundreds of hours. Lil Rod recorded hundreds of hours of video where Diddy and his inner circle engaged in serious illegal activity. He has screenshots, and there were parties hosted by Diddy with sex workers, underage girls in attendance who were allegedly given laced drinks at Diddy's behest, according to the lawsuit. Yeah, this is just like you can't.
I believe all of it. I think people who are into this stuff that he's into absolutely film it. Their sick mind is
too much damn thing.
He's gonna get it, but it's gonna be a while to build this case. Yeah, we'll see who else is involved.
And apparently, this tell-all book that got killed off by Kim when Kim Porter, died of pneumonia, which apparently there was the first coroner, by the way, that did it, and the first coroner apparently said that there was poison in her system, and then that coroner died, and then another.
I'm sorry.
It's just too
What?
much. Yes, that is actual
Okay.
personal
I
information.
did not know that. And if that's on open, okay.
It's
I
been,
can't
yes.
even.
And there's been a few people who have mysteriously died in his circle that all had tell-all books coming out.
Guys.
Porter. It's too, there's too much.
No. This is too much circumstantial
I know.
evidence. This is, no, I'm
Well,
sorry.
this
The
book is
coroner who said
apparently,
she had poison
yes,
died.
yes. Yeah, died.
Mhm.
Apparently
I'm
this Kim Porter
sorry.
book is getting restitched together.
He
And
did it.
yes, I know.
This is crazy.
At this point,
Wow.
it's like listening to R. Kelly say, I didn't do it, and you're just like, I know you did it. Like,
You're like,
yeah, there's no way out. Diddy could
cage
be
bird
arrested any
say.
day. I mean, now that they have some of this, they just have to link it to him. Once they look through some of the recordings, I mean, they're going to find so much stuff. They seized computers. By the way, one of his sons is also named as one of the
I saw that.
drugs to underage. So he's fucking like what do you call it? He's building his whole family up around him. What is that word? When you
I don't know.
there's some really damning evidence, and I feel bad for those girls. I think he's got twins, right? Or the Kim Porter's kids. It's just like, what is going on? How to think your father did this?
Yeah, those kids.
How do you survive this? How do you survive Diddy? How do you?
I don't. It doesn't sound like people are. They're literally not. He's killing. I mean, like, you're not surviving. People have not been surviving Diddy, and now Diddy needs to go down.
I'm curious to know if the rumors about Usher and Justin Bieber are true too, because apparently, I guess when you were a young budding, groomed. That's the word I was trying to think of. He's grooming his own children, but
Insert groom.
Yeah, insert groom. Apparently there was they called there was the flavor camps. He called his 48-hour sleepovers flavor camps that he brought like Usher into. And even Usher said in interviews that he would never, hell no, would he send his kids to this thing. But for him, he never came out and said anything that Diddy did to him. It's just people said in the industry, like, if Diddy offers you something, you say no, because once you give him like a finger, he takes the whole arm. So like, you just say no right off the bat. If you're going to say yes and comply and say, yes, I'll go to the party, or yes, I'll do this, you're done. You're like pulled in. That's what a lot of these guys say. All right, guys. Well, there's way more to come out. He could get arrested any day now. We have no idea what's going to happen. Videos could surface that give real proof.
I mean, just hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hats here.
Hold on to your hats. The shit's about to explode. He's about to become R. Kelly's roommate. They're going to Diddy each other's dills, and who knows?
Diddy's the new Epstein right now. Well, we'll keep you posted.
Diddy. I mean,
there are a lot of puns, and it's fun.
A lot of puns, and I hope they get funnier. And he just goes down for being like a disgusting, home-wrecking, sexually assaulting.
Side note, I've never been a huge fan of his. He's an awful rapper. I just don't really. I mean, I'm fine with this.
I remember you and I talking about this years ago. Because I actually always really liked him, mostly because I just like all his collaborations. But I know, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, no, he was a better producer than he was like. That was kind of what he did. But as a rapper, he sucks.
Well, another one to take off the list during your workout. No more.
Take him off.
No more
bad
R.
boys.
Kelly. No more Michael Jackson. No more. Maybe no more Justin
no.
Timberlake. I know. I don't know. There's so many.
I still put on Michael Jackson sometimes, you guys. Sorry.
I don't. I can't do it. I cringe because of
it's not his fault. Okay. Well, you know what? We better stop.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's keep going. All right. We'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks so much for listening.
Bye.